So hello and welcome back to Go Again Gaming in another Age of Sigmar chat. Me and my good friend Josh, we managed to play our first sort of proper game of Age of Sigmar. It was about 1,000 points, there or thereabouts, and I was playing Seraphon, of course, and Josh was playing Stormcast, his bioluminescent, toxic Stormcast, or irradiated Stormcast. And it was a sick time. Really enjoyed it. It was our first time playing with the command points as well as the objectives. When we first started playing, it was like a 2v2, just clash of armies sort of situation. There was a lot of things that we missed. We were taking simultaneous turns. A lot was going wrong. But this game felt like a proper game, and this battle that we had, which is going to be accommodated by some pictures in a moment. I do plan to do battle reports, by the way, so make sure you stay tuned for highly edited, I hope, battle reports going forward on the channel. But I've got a couple of pictures to sort of set the scene as to what happened in this. And I'm going to call this the Battle for the Eastern Hill. Because there was a huge battle that was constantly being fought over the eastern objective, which was really cool to see sort of unfold. So yeah, we pretty much played the game correctly with regards to all the interaction and the command points and all that sort of thing, and we didn't play simultaneous turns this time. The things we did miss, though, just to get these out of the way, were the battle traits, battle formations, some of the artifacts and heroic abilities that you get from your army. We missed out those, and we also missed out battle tactics. So we weren't actually choosing battle tactics each turn. So that's a lot of points that we could have missed from like killing other units and doing other things and stuff. The only points that were scored in this game were just the objectives that are available for capture on the board. So we missed a few things, but there is a lot to take on during this game, and I think this game, regardless of not using the battle tactics, not using your battle formations and your battle abilities and all that sort of stuff that you can get for your army, regardless of that, it was fantastic. So this was the board as it started off. So as you can see there, that is about. Well, this is Josh's turn when he's moving stuff around. You can see Josh's face there in the top corner, so you can see a lot of him going forward on the channel. So he's going to be piloting a lot of the Stormcast armies that you're going to see. And then there's me. Obviously, you can't see me here because I'm taking the picture, but as you can see there, I've got the Scar Veteran on the Carnosaur right in the middle of the field there. We've got a unit of Saurus with an Astrolith Bearer, which is pretty cool. So it gives them a 6-up ward save to any sort of friendly infantry in the area, which is pretty cool. And then we got to his right, the Saurus Astrolith Bearer's right, just by the dice, by the tree line there, as a unit of Skinks as well. Which their main objective is to just charge into that Eastern Hill. So the Eastern Hill at the moment, as you can see, the big battle was fought over there. As you can see, you got 3, I think they're prosecutors. I'm not too familiar with Stormcast at the moment. And then there's also like a knight behind them as well, like a hero character. I cannot remember what their name is, though, so correct me in the comments below if you can actually figure out from this picture what the hero is. Let me just zoom in a little bit more, so you might be able to figure out what that hero is. But obviously this is Josh's bioluminescent Stormcast. So as you can see there, you might be able to make out what character that is. He's holding a big banner, and this is the one with all the sort of wispy things coming out the back of him. I cannot remember for the life of me what it's called. Then obviously he had a wizard at the back there, or some sort of priest, I believe. I think it might be a priest. He was running prayer rolls every game. Then he had one singular Drake Rider over there on the horizon, and he also had what's his name, Lord Commander Bastion, which did some ridiculous work in this game, with another hero that could accompany him. I cannot remember what that hero was, though, because it was another hero, but it was allowed in the same regiment, I believe. Again, we're still a little bit rusty on the rules here, but yeah, all I know is that Lord Bastion absolutely rinsed some units, which we'll get to in a moment. He could throw lightning and throw down, so yeah, very good unit, very powerful. And then, of course, over on my side, we've got the Saurus Scar Veteran this time, riding the Carnosaur, We've got a bunch of Saurus Warriors with the Astrolith Bearer, as I mentioned. We've got a couple of skinks hiding behind the tree line there. And then we've also got a unit of Kroxigor Warspawned, which are the ones that have the anti-monster ability on their weapons, so they can add more rend when they're fighting monsters, if I remember correctly. Still trying to sort of get my head around all the rules and trying to memorise my own units, let alone my opponents. And of course, the Kroxigor also backed up there by a skink Star Priest, which basically hid in these trees the entire game. So these little trees on the right here that you can see, just to the right of that little swampy area. He just basically hid in those trees the entire game, was trying to heal units and cast earthquakes on other characters that he could see. But he got run down at the very end. But that is the battle as it came, as it started. So that was pretty cool. And immediately I started marching my characters over to, if I just bring this picture back up, I immediately started marching my characters over towards this hill here, which is the eastern hill that I'm talking about. So my skinks immediately went into that area, and the Saurus and the Astrolith Bearer soon went over there as well. And that is what we're calling the battle for the eastern hill, which is what you can see happening here. So eventually all of our forces just got clogged up on this one singular hill, and we're just fighting it out. Look at that. Josh's forces surrounded by skinks and Saurus warriors. And I did contest that objective for the longest time, because my models just basically allowed me to score extra points than Josh's. But Josh's units, the longer you're in combat with those sort of Stormcast, the more you just get whittled away. And I did. I wasn't left with many forces after that. But this is where the main battle was fought, on that sort of eastern front, which was really cool. The fact that there was one singular battle that really sort of where I got the majority of my points from, I should say, on this eastern hill here. But yeah, so if you can see as well, on the battle for the Eastern Hill here, I did actually manage to kill the character. This is actually obviously a better close-up shot of what you can see being involved in this battle. So I believe that's Prosecutors, and then obviously there's a character there that's surrounded by Saurus Warriors, which eventually they were able to take him down. Whatever character that is, they were able to kill him in the end. So this objective was basically mine the entire game. I was scoring the most points on this objective. But Josh did manage to swoop in at the end and capture just more objectives than me. He also managed to capture the one in my home area as well. But another thing which was quite pivotal to the battle was when my Kroxigors got absolutely murdered. So obviously over here, as you can see, the Kroxigors are marching towards the objective point. The objective point on this western side was this pig pen over here. So as you can see, a little pig pen in the center of the screen there. That was one of the objective points as well. And so a big battle was fought in the pig pen. But that's where the bunch of Kroxigors got absolutely murdered by Bastion. So this is where this picture comes in. So as you can see here, I think this is I'm just adjusting the images here. I think this is a image of Bastion right here. I think that's Bastion in there, accompanied by whatever this hero is. Obviously, they're not painted, or they're not all painted up yet, apart from a minor sort of grey, dry brushed with the black undercoat. But this hero here was doing serious damage to the Kroxigors. I basically marched the Kroxigors over to try and hold that command point, but I realised that they're probably not the best units to try and take command points. They're probably just best as bruisers, rather than running them out into the open so they can get shot down by thunderbolts. So this Lord Bastion character was firing thunderbolts at me and dealing damage before I could even get there. And then when this Commander Bastion came in, he just got an extremely insane roll with his weapon, which basically does 4 damage on hit. With -2 rend or 2 rend, so it just basically meant I needed. I think it was also critical auto wound as well. So it just basically meant that if I couldn't save it, they just died, because they had, as you can see, they had 4 damage on them here by the looks of it. But basically what I'm trying to get at here is, without remembering all the precise mechanics as to what happened, is Lord Bastion basically started throwing thunderbolts at the Kroxigor unit, and then he ran in there with his bloody Sunderer weapon, or whatever it's called, and just absolutely swept the Kroxigor under the rug with one insane roll. So that whole side of the battlefield was lost immediately when that happened, which was quite detrimental. So Josh was basically holding that entire pig pen area for the entire game, which was pretty crazy. Banking a lot of points there, so that battle was definitely lost. The Croxagores didn't really get a chance to do anything, unfortunately. I used a lot of my command points early to try and move as quickly as I could as well, but that didn't really turn out well for me. But yeah, that was that main battle. And another thing that was which was I did straight away was I charged my my Carnosaur, as you can see here. I charged my Carnosaur right through the center of the battlefield to try and take out their priest or their wizard. I can't remember, but I know it was some form of priest or wizard that I was like, right, I need to go and charge that down. So I probably could have got more value out of the Carnosaur going somewhere else, because that Bastion character was really powerful. But what I also needed to do is I also needed to draw that Drake in as well. So as you can see, Josh is running a Drake Rider here as well. So I thought that if I could charge this down the middle, I would probably have a chance of drawing out that Drake Rider, which I did. And then they got into a absolute battle. So the Carnosaur, or the Scar Veteran on Carnosaur, got locked into a battle with this irradiated Storm Drake, or this Storm Drake thing that Josh has made here, the Drake Riders, or whatever they're called. And the Carnosaur got the better of the Drake here in this battle. The Drake did fall. The Carnosaur did take a lot of damage, and I did manage to get over to Josh's Wizard and really start dealing damage to him. But he was just able to carry on. He was able to hold on because the Carnosaur's massive jaws ability goes down if it gets battle damaged, which means it's not as effective on that second swing with his jaws. So yeah, the Carnosaur did fall over there as well. I think Bastion also took it down with a lightning bolt, I think, perhaps. So yeah, Bastion was the main issue. He was the one that murdered my Croxagore unit. He took the whole sort of western side of the battlefield. And the points that I accrued from my home realm, as well as the eastern hill, which I was scoring points on, were then counteracted by the character that was actually accompanying Bastion managed to capture my home territory. So on this picture here, my home territory is basically where my Carnosaur's base is. So the character that was accompanying Bastion, which is that grey character there in the centre of the field, managed to go all the way round here once the Croxagores were murdered, and then capture this point here, which then meant that Josh controlled 1, 2, and 3 points. So Josh's home realm was never captured. He captured the pig pen really easily by murdering the Croxagore of Bastion, and then he snuck round the accompanying unit with Bastion to this point here, and that allowed Josh to score on all 3 objectives towards the end of the game, which really, really counteracted my early points with home realm and my... because I was basically holding this hill the entire game. I was always winning that hill the entire game. So it was a cracking game. And that main battle between the Saurus Warriors, the Skinks, and the Prosecutors, and another one of the heroes I cannot remember from the Stormcast, was where I got most of my points from in that game. But none of us played battle tactics, none of us played artifacts of power, none of us played heroic abilities, so we missed all of that stuff, which is a bit of a shame. But next time should be pretty solid. I'm making a lot of like dry erase. I'm going to be taking a lot of dry erase cards and stuff, so I can remember to trigger certain things and do certain things, and remember that, oh yeah, this guy or this Saurus warrior or this Saurus hero, I should say, has got the Blade of Realities, which gives him +1 rend or whatever. But yeah, it's such a good game. I want to hype it up as much as I can because it's so much fun. And as I said before, I think on the previous video, which was an Age of Sigmar video, was that this is probably the game I'm going to be playing the most of on a week-to-week basis, just because my mates in Swindon play it as well. And with that, you better believe that there's content coming. I've already asked my local game store, which is a 3-story game store, Firestorm Games, if I can book out rooms for content creation, and they said, yeah, that's fine. Normally they have rooms free which have a Warhammer table in them, so 3-story goodness here in Swindon, the local game store, Firestorm Games, and I'm not even sponsored or anything. But that is where I'm going to be playing these games going forward, and hopefully bringing you some battle report content, not in the form of just talking to the camera like this, but actual battle report content with editing and overlays and all that sort of thing. But I just wanted to share another experience which was sick from Age of Sigmar, and I'm really enjoying it right now. I hope the pictures did a little bit of justice and maybe sort of set the scene a little bit, but there's going to be a lot more of that, a lot more Seraphon as well. I'm going to be building my Slan Starmaster tonight, which should be fun. I also built my Bastillodon yesterday, so I might be able to show you that as well. It's not painted or anything yet, but I built the Bastillodon as well. So this is another unit that you'll see. It's not really in focus very well. But yeah, this is the Bastillodon with the Sun solar engine. So this is a great ranged unit, because obviously you've got the skinks there hanging off the edge. So you've got 3 skinks on there which can attack with their javelins, and then you've got the solar engine as well, which does some serious damage. So that'll be a great unit to bring to the table. But apart from that, I can't really remember the last time I did a talking head video like this. I don't know why I've got my headphones on, because I'm not listening to anything. But I can't remember the last time I did a talking head video for a card game like Flesh and Blood. It just goes to show that how hyped I am for this and how much I want to talk about it. And I know that Age of Sigmar and Warhammer in general can be a very, very competitive game as well, with metas and all of that. But I'm not going to be getting into that, and I feel like this game can be more casual, more chaotic because of the dice rolls, right? Because there's so many dice and a lot of chance involved, and a lot of elements within the board that will impact the game differently each time, like the placement of terrain, the battle tactics that you use, the command points that you use, the dice rolls, the overarching twists of each scenario that you play, and everything else in between. So yeah, if you've ever been on the precipice, not on the precipice, on the sort of knife's edge of getting into Age of Sigmar, I would definitely recommend it, especially if you've got friends that play it or want to play it as well. It's just a very, 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 very encapsulating hobby, and hopefully I can speak to you more about it and all my experiences with it as a new player, because I've got into this game through 4th edition, and yeah, that's all I'm going to be doing is 4th edition stuff. So we'll see you soon, hopefully. Cheers for listening. Bye-bye. Also, there is a Discord as well. This channel's been built on Flesh and Blood. Fresh and Buds. This channel's been built on Flesh and Blood content, but obviously there's still going to be a load of that, but there's going to be a lot more Age of Sigmar as well, maybe in its own separate playlist, which you can do. So make sure you subscribe if you're new here, and yeah, expect to see a lot more content in this form initially, while we get up to speed with trying to record the content properly, and we'll see what we do from there. See you soon. Cheers.